I already live the way as somebody not in the system. I pay all my stuff in cash. I don't finance at all. Good for you. And I even moved from a blue state to a red state because I was sick of it. I hear you, man. I moved from a just more into a liberal community, or excuse me, a conservative community. So between property tax and income, I can't stand funding a satanic government. So how do I keep my business going and be free? Thanks, Kelby. Yeah, I'm going to send you a ton of business related questions for Jamie. All right, Tracy, because this is that's easy. That's easy. Being out of the system, though, you're even though you somewhat think you're out of the system, personally, you want to take steps to acknowledge the removal. See, we're the only country in the world, and let me explain it to you this way. This is a great moment for this. Most every other countries, you can't find code or statutes that like you can here in this nation. In this nation, we were founded as a republic, and because the republic got vacated and then now is re-inhabited, but got vacated, the corporation basically was always there from nearly the beginning of the Declaration. And the corporation's expressed and sole purpose was to uphold our God-given unalienable rights. They even put it into the Constitution that they were going to designate a district for the corporation to run. And obviously it was a setup, and it took a lot of time for people to, and they started, as a country, we started growing, and they created the 14th Amendment, which was really the first major kick. In the 14th Amendment, you can see that the word citizen is lowercase compared to in the Constitution where it was capitalized. You actually became a possession of the United States corporation at that time. But then guess what? You became an employee in 1935 when you accepted the Social Security number. Now you have an employment ID. And so it was that time from 1868-ish to 1933, which was a takeover of the Republic. So we existed for a good 70 years. And that was about it, except the Republic still exists. And so in the creation of the corporation, they have written into the code, the statute, in the IRS and the SSA, and almost every Title 18, the remedies. And the remedy for the IRS is a revocation of election. What does that mean? I can revoke my election to pay taxes. Same with the SSA, Social Security Administration. So a lot of times people don't realize this, that we have the remedy built into our code. Well, we have the remedy in the IRS code for private foundations. We have the remedy for private churches, and so on and so forth. They don't have to file returns. And so what we do is like, I have a gentleman that has a private trust on the East Coast, but he doesn't have a tax ID number. He's working through a couple things tax-wise. They're hitting his social for everything. I'm like, why are they hitting his social if everything's under private trust? And he said, I don't know. And I said, well, give him the tax ID number for the private trust. He said, I don't have one. I'm like, I'll get you one for banking purposes only. He's like, oh, praise God. So he gets one now, and he does not ever have to file a return. No longer is going to get a K-1 to his private social. He's no longer going to get a 1099 for the dividends. It's all going to hit the private trust where he doesn't have to file a return, where taxes aren't deducted. Bing, bong, boom. So it's not bulletproof in every situation from a standpoint of the type of entity. Like I said, we're not going to do online porn, private porn. We get to pick who we want to create a church for. And so I asked for people's hearts. I want to get a statement of faith. They tell me their statement of faith, and we just ask for them to use the money to glorify God. And that's it. And go on your business, go on your way. And so that's the most important thing for us as a ministry, is that we are converting the assets of, and what we consider satanic, currently not owned by Satan, but squatting by Satan world, where he's structured up the corporations, the fiat currency systems, the territory instead of land, the artificial persons instead of real men and women. And he's now monetized them, and he's created them as surety. And now because you are an employee of a corporation, you're the collateral for the debt, and everybody across the world is the collateral for the debt because it all falls under the SEC. And so knowing that, we're wanting to help everybody come out, but they have to start realizing this is now all a light and dark issue. This is all God preparing for his return to reign on a throne. And this is all currently a system operating in complete darkness. And if people don't believe that there is a God and a devil, I will certainly show you within the patent laws and within the United States Code the very nefarious stuff that these guys have all done, in structurally setting that up, all the way down to the Saskatoon V Trust that was created in 1666, and from that point forward, it was downhill, for the entire world. So, good question, but and I know it was kind of a flippy, long-winded answer, but I wanted to make sure it was thorough.